imagine a centralized government following God's laws. I can't. I wish that existed, but it doesn't. If you're talking about capitalism, I really prefer entrepreneurship. Is that how you say that? Entrepreneurship. I wish that people weren't so hard pressed about whatever they think is so important. If they could step away from it, look at it from another angle, then they'd figure out how to work it out. But they won't ever do that, because that's not in their nature, which is why I'm special. And I'm supposed to guide society. That's his role for me. That's what he wants me to do. So he gave me a vagina, and he said good luck with that shit. And for those that think that I'm supposed to do all that conventional stuff, I'll call your bluff. I hate to break it to ya, I'm not like you. I don't want children, cause I wouldn't want them to grow up in this world that we pretend to live in. This isn't living. And I don't want a husband, cause all I do is ignore him. Yeah, I don't want a husband, all I do is ignore him. And it's not because I'm a feminist. The last thing in the world that I would ever be is a feminist. You don't have to be a feminist to be an artist. Because feminists don't create, they destroy. I'm going to repeat that. Feminists do not create, all they do is destroy. Women are supposed to create. That's why we're naturally supposed to be intuitive, genuine, compassionate, empathic. But do you really think that women in favor of abortion or any of that shit? I think not. 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 Gotta get off the exit here. If you think I'm a bad driver, if you think I shouldn't be driving, okay, so if you're a man that thinks that I shouldn't be driving and shooting videos and all that shit, okay, so what are you doing about women's rights, sweetheart? Because women's rights aren't just about abortion. I mean, this is like the end game, all right? This is the end game. So their whole intention was to just completely destroy humanity. And they've managed to do that because of materialism and women's rights and equality and all that other bullshit that it's not even possible. Like, equality is such a joke because people are just not equal to each other. So, like, literally all this stuff that they talk about in relation to social justice, like, they're replacing God. Like, so liberalism and science and all this other bullshit, it's just like this replacement for the divine. A replacement for the mystical. Okay? So all the mysteries of life, they want to replace that and tell you, no, this is what we know for a fact to be true about the world, you know? And because people really believe that, okay, like the Enlightenment period or whatever, people really believed, like, okay, maybe this is the route that we should go. We should want to know more about the world. We should want to know more about why we do things the way that we do things. But see, it's too easy. You know, whenever you have those controls in place, it's too easy for those controls to be manipulated and compromised. And it's not about truth anymore. Okay? I feel like true art is supposed to be a representation of whatever the truth is. Okay? In that particular moment. And so, I know that what I do is pretty redundant. But, you know, we're all redundant human beings, man. Well, some of us are still human beings, right? I don't even know if that's true either. Shit. But it's like, we're all creatures of habit. We all do things over and over again. And that's why a lot of musicians, like, all their songs sound the same. And whenever they try to branch out and do something different, their fans don't like it and wish that they go back and just play their old stuff, right? But, yeah, it's like, there's just so much that we don't know. And I think that's one of my problems with conspiracies as well, is that, like, depending on what side you're looking at it from, it's like anything could be a conspiracy. A lot of people think the Bible is a conspiracy, you know? I mean, all the world's religions are written by men, right? They're written by men. So how can you trust that shit? Well, I think a lot of the Bible is metaphorical, honey. I think that you're purposely misinterpreting it. But you're not the only one. Don't feel bad, okay? You're in a very large class of a lot of people from all different walks of life that are maybe intentionally or unintentionally misinterpreting the Bible. So, like, people that are more secular and they just want to make fun of people like me that have really strong faith, and they want to be like, oh, well, why did God allow this to happen? Brr, brr, brr. And it's like they expect me to, like, retort with something, like, biblical, like, and that's the problem right there, is, like, they want logic and reason to explain things, and oh my god, where are my shoes? Where are my shoes at? I don't have shoes right now. But, yeah, so it's like somebody tells you that they're secular and, like, oh, you're supposed to, like, provide them reasons as to, like, why they should start believing in God. You know? Like, that's not my responsibility. Like, dude, faith is all about believing regardless of, like, logical evidence. I mean, how many of these motherfuckers, like, believe the news media even though there's not logical evidence for anything that they're saying? So it's like, it's hard to get upset that these people don't believe what you believe, you know, when they believe all the crap that they believe, you know? So by comparison, you know, the burning bush, it really doesn't seem that extreme. But, you know, who am I, right? But I think that's important too. It's like, I'm willing to admit that I don't know. And that mystery is what humbles me. You know, I'm not God. But I'm still seeking the truth.